going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Hold on. There we go. Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you. Y'all see, yes, right. I got on red for this. The Flash. Yeah, I caught up with The Flash. So I'm doing a review on it. The Flash, which is season 8, episode 6, called Impulsive Obsessive Disorder. If you just by the title, you know this is a heavy, because they hinted at it at the end of episode 5. So this is going to be a Nora and Impulse heavy eccentric episode. But let me give you the synopsis, and then I'm gonna tell you what I thought about the episode. After returning home from a visit for their parents' vow renewal, Bart and Nora realize that things are not exactly as they left them. The duo are raced to repair any fissures in the timeline and restore everything back to the way it is supposed to be. So, this episode deals with Bart and Nora going back in time. Like this takes place, even though this is episode 6. This doesn't take place after Armageddon. This is actually after they left. I think it was at the end of season 7. Yeah, I think it was after the end of season 7 where they had their vow renewals, and they left. When they left, they left to go to a future, because I think it picks up there. The beginning of this episode picks up there where they go through it a little bit of that scene, but then they go to the new part of the scene that they filmed, which was just Barry, Iris, and Bart and Nora just having a talk before they leave to go back to their timeline. After the battle with Godspeed, and to that notion, the battle they go back into the future of 2049, and they see that everything looks pretty much okay. Like they looking around, they like, yeah, don't look like nothing really changed. Dad was right, Ain't nothing, no timeline could. They asked him before they went back. They asked Barry, did they didn't change the timeline or anything like that? And Barry said he checked with Gideon, blase. Everything was kosher, so they were happy. Then they get back to the future, like I said earlier. They get back, everything seems kosher just like it was, and then all of a sudden, they get hit with this wave of green temporal energy. And that temporal energy is basically changing stuff. And that's where like, I'm not going to kind of get into too detail if you haven't seen the episode already, but basically they started to realize things did change, but not in the way that Gideon or Barry would pick up. It was one of the biggest changes was a certain character basically not being dead. Yeah. Basically, that's the best way to say it. A certain character is no longer dead, and that certain character's history, as they know it, also has changed in a way that you will see when you see the episode. And this set off this person not being dead, along with the fact that this person's life is now different from what they know. This set off all the bells and whistles and alarms of something just went wrong. So they go back. They not go back in time, but they go to. I meant to say they go to the Flash Museum, and they basically go through the timeline to try to figure out what they did wrong. And the first thing they realized, this is where it started, the Flash Museum. They realized whatever causes these little fissures of timeline changes started then. They figured out that I don't really want to give it away how they figured it out, but let's just say it has something to do with Godspeed. it has something to do with Godspeed, them two, and time travel, basically. So just keep that in mind when you see the episode. What causes these fissures is Godspeed, time travel, and them two put the combined all together. They combine all that together in a way that they explain causes these fissures. So they realized they had to go through the archives and the flash material to figure out when did this all start. So they go back through all this type of stuff and they figure out it started back in 2013. The first timeline change fissure had something to do with Joe West getting shot by a bank robber, which just was the funny bank robber guy that always keep robbing the jitter. Who always keep the funny bank robber guy that keep robbing jitters and all this other stuff. He's just basically a clumsy bank robber, an oath. It was fun to see. They keep. I kind of. It was kind of funny that they keep using that guy as the one bad guy in Central City who can't actually do something correctly. But the villains of this episode is the Royal Flush Gang, and they fit into this. The way how they fit into this episode, they realize that something happens to where basically their original timeline, they don't become the Royal Flush Gang until well after Barry wakes up out of his coma and becomes the Flash. Whereas due to a certain incident, now they become thanks to, and this incident obviously is because of, and thanks to Bart and Nora, this incident actually causes them to become the Royal Flush Gang in 2013 instead of when they're supposed to be. So now Bart and them got a race against time to basically, Bart and Nora got a race against time to try to solve not only the timeline, to not only fix and restore the timeline to its natural state, while also trying to diffuse now the Royal Flush Gang and their crimes, because there's no speedster, there's nobody to stop them because there's no speedster because Barry is still in a coma. This was Barry, Iris, and Joe do appear, but there is their past self, obviously, where Barry Barry did film some new scenes. The guy Greg Gustin, he filmed new scenes, and one of the new scenes in 2013 was him still in a coma, but it was a new coma scene that we didn't see. We get to see Cecile too, I forgot, and Joe interact for the first time, showing the start of their love triangle. We get to see how Eddie and Iris started dating, how they met each other, and yeah, some pretty other fun tidbits. We got to meet, which I didn't know, and I thank Paigey for this, because I watched a little bit of his review. The girl that Bart has like a little love triangle with in this episode, her name is Avery, something like that. But she's basically one of the two speedsters. They also made reference to two more heroes. They made reference to Booster Gold, which was, I guess, I haven't been keeping up on things, but I guess it was like rumored that Booster Gold or somebody was going to appear from Legends in this episode, and that was Booster Gold. And I haven't seen that episode. I haven't seen the episode, but apparently the newest episode of Legends of Tomorrow has Booster Gold in it, and it's played by the dude from Scrubs, the actor from Scrubs. He's playing Booster Gold. But yeah, so we got she worked at the labs called Fast Track, and Fast Track is apparently the other speedster, along with Avery, who was a speedster of the Rebirth era of the comics, of the Flash comics. Yeah, this episode was good. It was very entertaining. It was more entertaining than most Flash-less episodes. Like in terms of where this ranked as an episode where this was anchored around other people other than the Flash, other than Barry himself. This was actually a good episode to be anchored by Impulse and XS, and to have the anchor around them, and it's like this was a good episode. Was it the greatest? No, but it was. I'll say it was the greatest, or I would say it's the greatest of the Flashless episodes. Like in terms of episode that didn't have him as the main star and was anchored on somebody else, this was definitely up there. It's probably like I would say number either if not number one, it was definitely number two as the greatest episode, as one of the best episodes that did not feature Grant Gustin and Barry in the episode, or feature them just a little bit. But with that being said, this episode there is a little cliffhanger at the end of this episode. But with that being said, I would give this episode of The Flash 7. You know what? Yeah, 7 out of 10 big ups, because this was a very good episode. It wasn't bad. I did enjoy the little references and the Easter eggs, and once I understood what they were, I was glad to see the actor who played Eddie Thawne be back. Apparently, he's going to be back for more episodes, so that we'll see where it goes with there. And I'm just glad to have the flashback. But yeah, this was a good episode. I recommend, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. This made me want to go and watch some more, get caught back up with other DC shows. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode of The Flash. And if you enjoyed this episode, or this review, I should say, hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all my reviews. And if you enjoy this review so much you want to support the channel, all you got to do is hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. Do all those great things, because it helps me bring you more content like this as I'm starting to get caught back up and watch all these shows. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But I'm out of here. Gotta go get some sleep. Yeah. Flash. Keep on flashing. Keep on DC and watching. Peace out, y'all.